All right, welcome back, everybody. Tobin and Leroy here with you on 560 WQAM, taking you up until 2 o'clock. Leroy out today on a Good Friday, and hope he enjoys the long weekend. And I'm excited because it is UFC weekend. I was down at the Kaseya Center yesterday, officially named.
Nice.
I saw the signage getting changed all over the place last night, Marcos.
They wasted no time.
They wasted no time. Dude, I was impressed. This UFC, I don't know where they do that. They work fast because you know, like they have the big banner where like it says UFC 287, you know, and all the sponsors, and it already says Kaseya Center. So I don't know if they got the jump on it or what, but they must have, right? Like it must. But I gotta tell you, dude, I walk into the building yesterday, and I know you guys say I'm a bit of a Goosies slut, you know.
Yes.
And that I'll throw it all over the place willy nilly. Your Goosies about this, your Goosies about that. Goosies. But when I walked into that building and I saw finally the big show was in the Heat's house. It has been brought back to the 305 for the first time. The last time they were here, Dwayne Wade wasn't drafted by the Heat. That's the last time.
Yep.
Okay. And to see that stage in our city, I got emotional, dude. I did. It was
Goosies galore.
It was Goosies galore. It was.
Seemed like you weren't the only one, though. The crowd seemed fired up.
The crowd was rowdy yesterday, dude.
Yeah.
It was rowdy.
Nice.
So I'll get into a little of that in just a second. But first, let's see what this guy wants. Hopefully it's not another Mets fan. Hey, 560, it's Tobin. You're on the air.
Tobin, how's it going, boss man?
What's up, Chapo?
See, you know the vibes already.
I do.
Couple things for you, Tobin.
It's hard to miss your vibes.
First, you already know what it is. Listen, real quick. Gotta just address this Mets fan from the last segment, please.
Mm-hmm.
Tell him if he wants to have some pressure with a real chico from that 305 on the UFC weekend, come and get this smoke, okay? Let's just get that out of the way.
Wow.
Second of all, why didn't you ask a question at the presser yesterday, Tobin?
Oh! I'll answer that. Okay.
Because listen, I was with you, bro. I was Goosies galore, dude.
I will tell you what. So here's why. It's a very simple answer, actually, Chapo. The mic setup. Okay, so it was a very weird setup yesterday. And I was like, I got a good seat for camera action, right? So the way it was, Marcos, is there was like a platform. Like there was the platform on the low, and then they kind of put us like at the bottom of the 100 level. But the mic was like in the middle of the aisle for the press. And
what?
Yeah, it was weird. And so like I was sitting there shooting with a camera, and I had the ESPN camera next to me.
Yeah.
Another camera in front of me. I was front row. So it was 3 rows back, many seats over. And I was like, that's kind of a pain in the ass. And then like,
I'm sure you have to, excuse me. Let me.
Yeah, it would have been a real pain in the ass. And then honestly, the questions that I had, another dude asked. And I'm kind of this nature. And I do this at Heat, like, I don't have to just ask a question. If the question that I want gets asked, then I'm good. I don't need my voice to be heard. I'm good. And the one that did get asked that I really wanted, I think it was Danny Segura, who covers MMA for MMA. I think he's with MMA Junkie, but he does a great job. He's local and covers stuff down here. He asked what I wanted to be asked, was like, hey, where are we at with the UFC ever coming back to Miami? Like, what is the impression? I'll give you the you guys can bring it up here in a second. But that was the reason. I was like, first of all, it's a real pain in the ass to get over to the microphone.
Yeah. And
second of all, the question that I would have asked got asked. So I didn't really find a need.
Man. That was a big one. I wanted to know, so I'm sure it was a question on a lot of people's mind, and I'm glad that someone got to it. I'm glad he answered it.
Yeah, here is Dana White yesterday as he addressed what the UFC's return has been to Miami and have they impressed. And this is what he had to say.
Miami become a city where it's like an annual host of a UFC event. Like
yes, all day. All day. He said yes.
So let me tell you this. So last time we came to Miami was 20 years ago. We did a gate of like $446,000 20 years ago. We came back here this time. This is one of the all-time biggest gates. This is the biggest gate outside of Las Vegas and outside of Madison Square Garden. We will definitely be coming back to Miami.
Crazy.
Wow.
That was fun, dude. Yeah,
That's Goosies.
that was Goosies.
Goosies.
So think about that.
Galore.
And like, look, I know I've had a lot of listeners say about the UFC ticket prices. They're like, they're outrageous. I know they are.
They are.
But you want to know why they sell them at that price? Because somebody's buying them, dude.
That's true.
Somebody is buying them.
That's true.
And I'm sure it's going to be I'm sure it's going to be very NBA Finals vibes of like, hey, look at all these stars that are there, just to be seen at the UFC event. I'm sure that's what it's going to be like. But you guys know how this place is. It's an event town. This is a big event. And I'm going to tell you something, dude. I know Jorge Masvidal is... I know Jorge Masvidal, a lot of people are rats off a ship on him. But one of the things I love about UFC that makes it different from boxing is it doesn't really matter how many fights you lose. Once you get to a certain point in your career, you're a made man. And I'm telling you something now about Masvidal. And it's probably not Miami that doesn't want to hear this because he's a Miami guy. But for anybody who's a skeptic about this, the guy is a star. He's a star. The whole place was there yesterday, packed in that little that little quadrant of the arena. Everyone was there to see him. The guy, comes out to a huge roar. I did feel bad they booed our guy Gilbert Burns. I love Gilbert. I mean, Gilbert is such a real dude,
Yeah, man.
But the thing that's great about Gilbert is he walks in, he cups the ear with the booze, and he's just got a giant smile on his face. So he takes it all in stride the right way.
Which is good.
And I think he's right. If he does end up beating Jorge,
then
he's going to rocket even more in popularity, and especially down here, because he's an impossible guy not to root for. I think you can even tell with Jorge, like he doesn't hate Gilbert Burns. Nobody hates Gilbert Burns. He's the best.
Yeah.
He's a gentleman and a real one. But that being said, that crowd was there yesterday for Masvidal. It's going to be an amazing, like the pop yesterday. I've been to some of these before, Marcos. The crowd was rowdy yesterday.
Nice.
They were booing Pereira, which I would never do. I mean, that guy is scary.
Yeah,
he is scary. They were booing anybody who was against Masvidal. They were booing Gilbert Burns. They were booing Kevin Holland. The only guys that they liked on that podium yesterday were Jorge and Israel Adesanya. That's it. Everybody else got the business. Even Pikachu Dog was booing him.
Wow. He was there?
Pikachu Dog was there.
Okay.
And I got to tell you, Pikachu Dog guy.
Yeah.
What the hell are you doing? I don't know what the deal is here.
Was Pikachu Dog there as well?
Yes, he was there. I don't recognize Pikachu Dog guy without Pikachu Dog. How does Pikachu Dog keep getting into the building?
I don't know. I really don't.
I don't understand this.
Yeah.
But my favorite part of the press conference, there were a couple things that were my favorite parts yesterday.
Pikachu Dog.
But my favorite part was Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal uniting in a pre-fight moment to boo Dana White.
Oh, okay.
That was my favorite part.
Right.
I've never seen that before, where two fighters have booed the answer of their boss.
Yeah.
Because he's asked about the title shot, which we asked Colby. We asked Gilbert about, like, what do you think about Colby's getting the title shot?
Yeah.
He's like, I don't blame Colby, but yeah, it kind of bummed me out that this fight isn't for a title shot. Feels like while Colby's not undeserving, he also hasn't been fighting. Like in the last fight that he had, he beat up Masvidal. He beat him over 5 rounds, but then he's been a ghost. Kamaru's fought a couple times. Jorge and Gilbert are gonna fight. Gilbert's fought multiple times. Since then. Bilal Muhammad. Like this has been a division that's actually back. How Colby's waltzing in just because he made weight? That's it. And so Dana White's asked about this yesterday, and his 2 co-main eventers are sitting there. They start booing him. Here's the video.
Gilbert Burns and Masvidal have said in the lead up to this fight that they believe that if they do something spectacular on Saturday, they can surpass Colby Covington and get the next welterweight title shot. Do you think there's a chance that they might change your mind on Saturday? Do you leave a little room for that?
Well, listen, Colby Covington, like him or not, the guy showed up in London. He cut weight. He did what he was supposed to do. He deserves the fight against Leon. There's no doubt. We'll see how this fight turns out on Saturday night.
Come on.
And the best case scenario is one of these guys are next. Yeah.
Well, when's the last time he finished somebody? I know Dana likes action, so.
That is true. Like, it is a weird thing that he likes Colby Covington to this degree because Colby's a good fighter, but like he doesn't have that knockout. Like it's all pace and cardio, which is very effective. He beats he's beaten some real badasses with that way. Not Kamaru Usman, but he's beaten Robbie Lawler and RDA, and he's beaten Jorge Masvidal. Like it's very effective how he's able to go fight.
So boring though.
I mean, it is boring to some. I mean, like not everybody loves that wrestling style. I'm surprised it's Dana who like won't give people contracts on the Contender Series. I am very perplexed by why Colby seems to get this nod from him. I don't know what it is, and it's weird to me. And Siegel's it's intangibles. Oh, it's because he loves because he loves Trump. Let me tell you something. The whole roster loves Trump, basically. I don't think that's what it is. I don't know what it is.
Masvidal loves Trump.
Masvidal loves Trump. I mean, he was at Mar-a-Lago this earlier this week. So I don't think that's it. I don't think that. I think the Trump love is not what's getting the title shot. It's weird to me. I don't understand it. Especially, they'll tell you that. They'll tell you that like, it's a metrics thing. I think John Anik said, it's a metrics thing. They'll say Colby's been right. I just can't imagine that if Colby versus Leon Edwards and you had to fork over $80 without draw Leon versus Jorge Masvidal for $80, when you're telling me in the same press conference that the reason that you're going to have the biggest gate outside of MSG in Vegas is sitting right there to you in a green jacket, which is a nice touch for Masters Week, Jorge.
Indeed.
But you have that going on. How are you going to tell me that Colby could be a better draw than a grudge match and a striking match between Leon and Hort? It doesn't even make a whole lot of sense. And then Gilbert, just by credentials, if he wins this fight, I feel like it's just been more active and deserves it more.
Yeah.
So it's just a strange thing. I don't know why. I don't know what it is. Maybe that was the promise to make him a backup fighter and Dana sticking by his promise. But
strange though.
Strange. It is strange.
Do you think he's playing the long game? You think he's like, all right, Jorge can win this fight. Leon could beat Colby, further solidifying his run as a champion, and maybe the second fight in Miami? Or do you think that they wouldn't do like another fight in Miami so soon?
No, I can't imagine they're coming back to Miami so soon. I think that'll be like next year that they would come back.
So
I mean, like
this is a first and last in Miami this year. You think?
Yeah, because I mean, what do we have? We have we have 8. They got to go to they're going to do Vegas and I'm sure they'll do 2 more in Vegas. They'll do 1 more in MSG. They're going to Canada, I think.
Canada.
Yeah. So they're not going to come back. They're doing Prudential Center, so they're going to New Jersey at one point. Yeah, there's just not any. There's no more dates to come back to Miami.
Yeah, that's fair
for a pay-per-view. And look, I think they're smart enough to know now. Don't come here with some bull bleep card.
Yeah, exactly.
You come here, you stack the deck just like you do for New York, just like you do for Vegas. Don't come here with some weak ass card. You come here, you have a star-studded card, you make the prices outrageous, and obviously people will pay.
Yeah.
So, and it's a really good card. It's a really good card.
I know we're up against it, so I don't want to get too much into it now.
But I'll just go boo Galen. Just like, boo. Come on, stay on clock. Boo. Can we just start doing that? Can we start booing our boss?
I mean, we can try it.
I don't think that's going to go well for us. I don't think
necessarily. I'll probably ask you a little bit later in the show. Izzy, like, I feel like he had a very reserved role. I know he gets the fan support, but I didn't see any viral clips from Izzy. I didn't see any of the charisma. I think he's locked in. Like, I've lost to this guy. And
it was a very intense stare down.
That's what I thought.
It was a very intense stare down.
Yeah,
very intense. So. Well,